Hello and what is going on everyone? Hope you're all having a good day, and today I have episode 7 of our Stacked from Scratch series where you guys can follow me on my journey of getting stacked in Runescape 3. We're just going to follow off from our last episode and test out our Lanicaeus Spear doing some Slayer, so if you haven't checked out the last episode I'd recommend doing that now. Quick thank you to everyone out there that provided feedback on our previous video discussing on how we should go about upgrading our abilities on the account, and at the end of this video we'll go further in depth of how I want to implement all of the feedback that you guys have given me. Currently 80% of you guys are not subscribed. Thank you to all of the 20% out there that have jumped along for the journey. You truly are all amazing. But if you haven't subscribed and you find yourself keep on watching the videos and you don't want to miss out on any future content, please subscribe to the channel. It will mean the world to me. So this is the setup that we're going with, very similar to the first video that we done. The main difference here is I have Cinderbane gloves and I also have weapon poison. And we're actually on a Slayer task this time, so hopefully we'll be able to kill these relatively quick. I am going to be using a vampirism aura. And for those of you unaware, you can use the premier artifact to act as a sign of a porter and give you a 50% chance to bank any of the nihil parts that we get. So if you accidentally get a blood nihil on you, what you can actually do to stall their attack is you can just run around. And look, when they start following you, they won't be able to hit you. And if they don't hit you, they won't be able to use their special. And that will save you a lot of pain, because when they start healing, it can get really annoying. And there we go, that's our task completed. Let's go to the bank and see how many talons and nihil parts we actually got. So from 110 of them, we got 20 on the dot, which I'm pretty sure 20 of them, that will be 4 mil from the loot just then. And we would have got a few mil in the regular loot as well. So always a task worth doing in my opinion. Let's see if we can grab ourselves another task. What are you going to give us today? She notices our cape. I really don't know what task I actually want to do. So I am going to get I would normally go for Creatures of the Lost Grove. But I want to test out the Lanicaeus Spear, and it doesn't work well at all there at Moss Golems. So what I'm actually going to pick, I'm going to pick Soul Devourers or Corrupted Workers. I'm going to go with Corrupted Workers because I'm pretty sure you get a bigger task. There we go, so we've got 250 of them to kill. Hopefully we can get lucky on the Vital Sparks and maybe some keys to the crossing. By the way, if you guys didn't know, Magister is actually insane money. I'll have to make an updated video for that at one point. So we've got 4 left on the task, and from this task we was able to get 5 keys, 18 sparks, which is absolutely insane. Like, this is going to add up to a ton. We're also able to catch one of their souls as well. And that's made me wonder, how good do you reckon these are in the player-owned dungeon? Have any of you tried them out? I'm assuming you don't get the 20% bonus damage that you should against them, and it's kind of putting me off wanting to test them out. But if you guys have actually tried them and they're not too bad, I wouldn't mind actually putting them in my dungeon and using them as a moneymaker, especially with the spear. So not including the keys, we made 3.7 mil, and then let me quickly withdraw all of them. So from this task alone, with the 5 keys and the 18 sparks, we were actually able to make 7.2 mil in 20 minutes. And that's not including like 400k in my coin pouch. So yeah, this is a really great task that you want to do. I think the level's pretty steep. You need like high 90s, maybe even low 100s to do the Corrupted Workers. But yeah, if you have them unlocked, definitely a task worth doing. Oh damn, we've got 3,000 Slayer points left. I forgot how good Combat Week was. I can't wait for the next one of them. So, give us another assignment. She's noticed our cape. So we actually get to pick our task again. And while I'm there with my aura on, I may as well actually go back to Corrupted Creatures. Like, they're great money, so there's no reason for me not to. And I can try get some even more of them souls from them. So, I know I kind of inadvertently do it the end of each episode, but I'm actually going to put together a loot tab and we can see how much we're going to make from Slayer. So I'll put all of this in the tab and we'll see how much money we can make. That's another 30 super prayer renewals, and we need to actually update the preset to have them in there. I would normally bring a rune pouch, that way we can high out all of our stuff on the go, but the trouble is I haven't got one yet and I think they're like 20 mil, so I'm going to hold off of that for now, and that will be one of the goals that I'm probably going to get in the future. So there's actually another item that I forgot to bring here. It's called the Sophomore Slayer Dungeon Drop Enhancer. You can buy this for 10,000 Dungeoneering tokens from the Elite Dungeon Reward Shop. And I'm not too sure whether I should bring it or not because of the cost on the tokens. But basically it makes it so that instead of the keys being a 1 in 75, they're a 1 in 60 when on task. So normally when killing these, you get a task of 250 if you're selecting the maximum amount. And in them 250, you should be getting 3 keys at least. So every task, you should be making 2.1 mil just on the keys alone. You're going to get a ton from the Vital Sparks. But if you were to use that enhancer, and you would have a drop rate of 1 in 60, you would get 4.1 keys a task. So you get an extra 700k every time you do it. So I'm contemplating whether or not I should spend my Dungeoneering tokens on that or not. It just doesn't really seem worth it to me. But then at the same time, I don't know what else I'd spend them on. I currently have 830,000 tokens spare. So that would technically be 83 drop enhancers for the keys. So that's Corrupted Workers number 2. And from that task, just from the keys and the sparks, we made 4.3 mil. Add in the rest of the loot, and we're up to 5 mil without any of the alcohols. Really is a great task to do. Is it bad that if I get the task again, I'm not going to be happy? Like, I actually don't mind doing that task because it's so AFK. Lava Strikes or Edemus? You know what? We're going to do Edemus. We can't actually. We don't have a scythe. The spear's really bad at Edemus, unfortunately. Lava Strikes, though, we could do some Lava Strike Worms. They are, I'd say, really good money. They're good money until you get PK'd, but you get PK'd far too much for my liking. I think, should we just bite the bullet and do Edemus with the Lanicaeus Spear? Just in case it's really bad, I'm going to just select 170, because the thing is, we haven't got Undead Slayer. We haven't got accuracy. Like, it's not going to be fun at all. So I'm just going to pick 170 of them for now, and we'll see how it is. I already know you're going to splash a lot, but we don't have any alternative weapons that we could be using at the moment. So for doing Edemus, you actually need cannonballs, and you want to use a cannon. So I'm going to buy probably 3,000 cannonballs, and that should be enough for the task. Also, if you're going to be doing this task, do not forget your Salve Amulet E. Like, I'm not even going to say that you won't have this. If you've got 150 Dungeoneering and you don't have a Salve Amulet E, what are you doing with your life? So I'm pretty sure most of you guys know this, because a lot of you come from old school and you can do this on there as well. But you can actually reclaim your cannon if you've lost it from the just up here north of the Falador Lodestone. Remember, this is only if you've lost it. So obviously, where I got rid of my cannon for this series, I will be able to go up to him and replace my cannon. He should just be in the west house up here, if not around it. There we go. So this dwarf here, I'm not going to try to pronounce that name. You right click, replace cannon, and then there you go. He's given us back our cannon. And for a lot of Slayer tasks, you do actually want your cannon on this game. And to get the Royal Cannon, you actually have to do Artisan's Workshop, which is it's not a mini game. It's more of the place you train your smith in, and when you're there, you gain respect with the dwarves. And then with that respect, you can upgrade your cannons to automatically refill and to have more cannon capacity. So this is definitely an upgrade for anyone out there avid with their Slayer grind. So as these guys actually drop ashes, it's now time for me to swap Persistent Rage over for the Death Note Relic. This will make it so that every single one of them is noted, and we should make a little bit more profit while doing this. I'll probably keep this on now for the duration of the Slayer grind that I'm actually going to be doing. And another big thing as well, this is the ability bar that I'm going to be using for Edemus. It works great for a lot of tasks, but I've deliberately put Quake before Hurricane for when using the Lanicaeus Spear here. This way, it's going to apply a debuff to the enemies that we're killing so that we have a higher hit chance. There's nothing too special to this. We do actually have a guide on the channel. I know a lot of you guys aren't at the point on your account where you can kill Edemus, so it's not going to be too useful for most of you, but it is one of my favorite tasks, and I'd recommend it out there to anyone to actually get the setup for these. Basically, all you do is you go into this room and you set up a cannon just where my cursor is now. And once you set that up, you come to the door, and as they aggro onto you, you step in and out of the door to stack all of them. And then this will easily allow you to stack all the Edemus and AoE them down. It is a 30 to 40 minute task. I'm suspecting that with the Lanicaeus Spear, it may be even longer. But yeah, that's the general consensus of this. Like, you do want to be using Protect from Mage as well, because they hit a ton. This guy's able to get away with it with just Soul Split, but when you have all of them on you at once, you need to Protect from Magic. So this is the setup that I was talking about. You get them all stacked here with your cannon. You step in and out of the barrier to lure them once they've spawned. And then you pretty much just sit here and AFK with your auto retaliate. So I've actually put on my room metrics for this, and I will track what your accuracy is like with the Lanicaeus Spear, and then we can decide if it's worth doing them with it or not. I'm going to be honest with you, because it's not 100%, I'm going to assume the scythe is always going to be best in slot here. But if it's only 90%, you'll get away with doing these just fine. Nice, we've already got an elite clue scroll. I'll be honest with you, I'm not too sure when I'm going to do the clues on this account. We are closing in on 50 elites and 50 hards, and we have like 100 easies as well. So there probably will be one episode dedicated to doing all of the clue scrolls. Like, you can make a fair amount of money, and especially at this point in the game on our account, it will be really nice. Another thing as well, these drop a ton of unstackable items, so you either want to bring magic note paper or a yak. If you did really want to just AFK this, like, completely, you would want to use a Vampirism Scrimshaw with, say, a Penance Aura. You don't need Vampirism Aura, but they do drop a ton of sharks that you can use to sustain yourself alongside an Enhanced Excalibur, so that's always a choice if you don't want to spend the money on a Vamp Scrim. Nice, there we go. We got our first Elite Edemu spawn. For those of you unaware, these guys drop the Blood Necklace Shard, and if we get one, we're going to upgrade our Fury straight away. So that would be great if we can get one, but the drop rate is significantly reduced when killing the Elite Edemu, which is a rare spawn when killing these. So when killing the standard ones, the Blood Necklace Shard is a 1 in 512 drop. But when you kill the Elite one, it goes all the way down to a 1 in 128. And I'm pretty sure it's either a 1 in 50 or a 1 in 100 chance of these spawning. You can use incense sticks to increase that chance. But yeah, hopefully we can actually get lucky from killing this. What the hell? Literally in like less than 10 minutes, I've had 1, 2, 3. I've had 4 Elite Edemus spawn in less than 10 minutes. That's insanely lucky. So Elite Edemus also have a rare chance of dropping the Edemu pet. These can only be dropped from the Elite ones. And it's a 1 in 512 drop. So if it's a 1 in 50 chance of spawning an Elite Edemu in the first place, this is a 1 in 25,000 drop. Considering you can't kill these unless you're on task, that's insanely rare. And I know a lot of people that have gone ridiculously unlucky on these. It's super cool to have though. And like, to be honest with you, that's one of my favourite things about Slayer. Like, yes, bossing's fun and whatnot. When they add ridiculously rare drops to a drop table, like in the forms of a pet or something like that for Slayer, it really does add a new lease of life on it for me. So I just finished up the Slayer task, and as you can see, we made an extra mil for having that Death Note relic. Yes, you could bring note paper and note them all yourselves, but it's going to be less AFK, and you're going to be losing a little bit of profit. We made 2.5 mil from the regular drops, plus about 300k in crystal weapon seeds and whatnot, and then we got 1.7 mil in alks. So we got around 4.5 mil from that task, which, considering you need the Blood Necklace Shard to bring up your profit, that's not bad at all, and it really didn't go as bad as I thought it would. We averaged a 91% accuracy throughout that task, and the XP rate was about 350k Slayer XP an hour, which is significantly less than you can get with the Scythe. It probably is partly due to using the spear, but it's also, you've also got to factor in the fact that I am not using the Undead Sigil, and I'm also not using the Undead Slayer perk when killing them. I'd say the Scythe is definitely better, but I will continue to do this task in the future because they really wasn't that bad with this spear. If the accuracy was like 80%, I would never do them, like Moss Golems, for example. But yeah, we've grabbed ourselves a Abyssal Demon task, and we've got 300 to kill of them. I'm intrigued to see how much you can actually make on task using melee. I personally only ever use mage when killing them, but I don't have Chromium 4 on my mage gear, which, by the way, the wishes are coming out on Monday, so I'm going to get a free Chromium 4 for my mage and range, which is pretty fun. I am not going to bother going for too many Aftershock attempts, purely due to the fact that if you're going to go for Aftershock, it is a long-term commitment, and I'll be perfectly honest with you, in the short term, I'd rather not have it. But all of you guys out there on the main account, if you haven't checked it out already, me and Campy discussed this in one of his videos. Campy and I basically recommend what you should spend your wishes on. I'm not going to give you a full answer here, but in black and white, you want to prioritize getting your Aftershock 4s, E2s, if you're going to go down that route on your account. At the end of the day, it's a game. Use it on whatever you want to use it on, whatever you're going to have the most fun out of, whatever you want. But if you want to be as optimal as possible and save as much money as you can, Aftershock 4 E2 is going to be the best bang for your buck. So that's the Abyssal Demon task done. It took 12-15 minutes for a max task, and you're going to average 350k Slayer XP an hour and 800k combat XP an hour, not including hit points. We got 2 souls, but I'm pretty sure we already have a soul for the Abyssal Demons. Let me have a look through here. Yeah, so we already have an Abyssal Demon soul. It's not worth putting them in your dungeon purely due to the fact you can only have 5 of them. So we're just going to empty these and get these back. We managed to get ourselves 4 hard clues, which is to be expected. They have a very good drop chance of hard clues. We got ourselves an Abyssal Whip, which is a novelty item at this point, but they look really cool nonetheless. Like, getting these on old school or back in the day was like a really big moment on anyone on their accounts. Like, you grinded out for 85 Slayer, so I feel like that's in everyone's heart who's played RuneScape for a long time. So we made about 700k plus whatever we got from our spring cleaner and plus whatever we have in our gem. We got a Trisk piece as well, which is going to be 1/3 of an elite clue when we eventually use it. So we'll grab another task and see what we can get. Nihils or Soul Devourers. I want to AFK a little bit, so I'm going to get the Soul Devourers. We can get 250 of them. The Lanicaeus Spear works fine now. I've done a lot of testing with it before, so this is going to be another great task, just as good as Corrupted Workers, if not. So if we take a look at our Slayer Codex, we don't have a lot of the souls from this dungeon itself. We only have the Sallower Arcs. I'm definitely butchering the second part of that word, but I don't know how to pronounce that. So we're going to avoid killing them, and we're going to kill the feline ones, and hopefully we can get a soul for these, so we can tick that off on one of our items for the Slayer Codex. That's a pretty rare drop there. We got ourselves a Kopesh of the Caradan. I don't know what holds more value to me, the whip that we got last task or that one. At least this is a world announcement though. So I've just finished up that task. We unfortunately didn't get a soul, but it doesn't matter. We'll hopefully get one next time.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
We were able to make 5.2 mil plus like 600k, so 5.8 mil we were able to make with that. We got 3 elite clue scrolls as well, and we also got the Kopesh like you guys saw in the earlier clip. Really cool to see. Like I said, like I didn't even remember these guys dropping a world broadcast. It wasn't until people with Discord said grats that I saw that I got this. So let's see what task we can get next. Hopefully it's something AFK, because I'm trying to work on something on the side. So we're able to pick another task, and just because of how AFK it is and the fact that we need that soul, I'm going to go straight back to Soul Devourers and hopefully make a nice bit of cash. Legit just finished the task, and 6 seconds later I died because my prayer dropped. Yeah, don't AFK too much. So thankfully I don't think we actually put anything in the yak that time. Like the past few tasks, if I died, I would have had to have ran back because I was putting my keys to the crossing in there. But either way, from that task, we were able to make ourselves 5.7 mil, and we got another 3 elite clue scrolls. Fortunately, we still haven't got the soul, so that's something we're still going to have to chase after. Okay, so we've got a demon task, so we can get 150 of them. We are not going to be able to do Ripper Demons with the Mage method for the same reason we can't do Nightmares with Legacy Mage. So what we can actually do, we can kill them one by one and still make a decent amount of money. So that's what we're going to do for this demon task, because it is still going to be like 20 to 30 mil an hour even without using Barrage. So if you are going to be meleeing Ripper Demons, I'd recommend using a Dark Light as your main weapon. There is a method where you can stack them all together and use a scythe, but we're not going to be doing that for this episode. We're going to be just going in, killing them one by one. So here's what I'm going to opt to bring to these. I'm going to see how much money we can actually make and how quick we can kill them. We have a max task of 150, so we're going to see how quick we can kill them all. And I will be using a Vamp. I'm not too sure if I need a Vamp Aura. I would use a Vamp Scrim and a Penance Aura and see how we go. Oh, nice. We just got a Raptor Key Part. There we go. So we got a Cursed Stand, which at the moment is going for 6.8 mil. Not bad. Always nice to see a beam. I'm going to be completely honest. I nearly died actually trying to start the recording there. Thankfully, I was able to get some food out and eat. But yeah, that's an extra 6.8 mil for the tab. For those of you that don't know what this sand does, you can attach it to one of the Ushabtis. And once you do that, it increases the chance of capturing an enemy soul. So that's why people buy it. People that want to speed up the process of gathering souls to put things in their personalized Slayer dungeon. Oh, damn. We just got another Raptor Key piece. Well, that's 2 of them that we're going to have sitting in the bank now. The thing is, I don't mind getting the Raptor Key pieces from the Mammoths, the Wyverns, and these. But Camel Warriors are just so boring. Okay, so I've just finished up that task there. We forgot to note, what is that? 14 of these Ripper Demon pouches, just because my event was full, so it never actually got collected. We were able to make ourselves 15 mil in about 35 minutes, which, I'm going to be honest with you, it's a pretty good GP an hour, considering that we're killing them one by one and we're not AoEing them. Obviously, you're going to have to deduct some of the cost from the Ripper pouches, so it won't be as much as that. If we include the sand that we got too, that brings us all the way up to nearly 22 mil, so that's absolutely crazy. We were able to get ourselves a Ripper Demon Soul, and we also got 2 Raptor Key pieces part 2s. So, to be honest, we're a better way from that task being like a perfect Ripper Demon task, if I'm honest. I'm a little bit unsure whether the Dark Light is actually better than using a tier 90 with precise 6? Like, I don't actually know the answer to that. In order to actually get the benefit from using a Dark Light, you actually have to do like the part 2 of Recipe for Disaster, which I'm pretty sure is the Dimension of Disaster. Yeah, so once you complete the Dimension of Disaster, you can unlock some rewards in New Varrock. And one of them rewards is actually to upgrade your Dark Light to make it a lot more powerful against demons. So we'd be able to make even more money if we had our Demon Slayer perk on our armor. We don't currently have that because we just have this kitted out for generic PVM and Slayer. In an ideal world in the future, we'd have a trim set of Masterwork and we'd have Demon Slayer on a set of legs that we will use specifically for demon tasks. That being said though, I'm happy with that. 22 mil from one task in 35 minutes. Absolutely insane. You're not going to get that every time. So that's everything I've got for you guys today. Hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. And thank you all so much for the feedback on my previous video, just demonstrating how I want to go about obtaining the upgrades. Just to summarize it for you, a lot of you guys really like the ideas that I'm looking forward to implementing, but there are a lot of you out there that want to see me obtain the abilities from scratch. And to be fair, it's completely warranted. In a true from scratch series, a lot of you guys are following my progress, and if I all of a sudden give myself Barge, it's not going to be replicable by everyone out there. So I completely agree. We should have to earn the abilities by buying them. This being said, I also want to incorporate the whole teaching you guys how to PVM with and without upgrades for every single boss that I think I can show you guys things for. So with this being said, I think we can implement a system that welcomes both. I think, yes, we can set aside money to actually buy the abilities. The GP that we put aside, which we would have spent on abilities, can be used towards the end of the series in a quote-unquote rare fund, where I'll purchase a rare that we can afford at the end and see what we can get and have a rare on the account. If not, we can go down the route of hosting some giveaways, doing that kind of thing, giving back to the community and whatnot. Ultimately, it's hard to please absolutely everyone, but at the end of the day, in this series, I want you guys to be able to follow it as much as you possibly can. So in order to do that, I think it is fair to say that I should have to earn the abilities, and I completely agree with you guys. On the side note of this, I will also, to tailor towards teaching people PVM, as soon as I buy an ability, yes, I can use it anywhere, but I'm not going to deliberately use it every single where and make the game entirely easy. If I do that, I'm going straight back to square one and I will get burnt out. So what I'm going to do alongside having to earn the upgrades, I'm going to still implement the system. I'll have to do X amount of kills at a boss, do fun challenges that you guys suggest, all of that kind of stuff to unlock the ability that I've just earned. For example, Araxor, if I go there and I already have Greater Barge, I'll do 25 kills without Greater Barge just to show you guys how I'd recommend doing the boss fight before this upgrade. And then, because we've bought Greater Barge, straight after that, we will use it. And I'll show you guys how I'd recommend doing the boss once you have it. So, let me know what you guys think of implementing this system. As a really quick summary, it is literally going to be, I have to earn the GP and set it aside in order to get an upgrade. And then, specifically, once I have the upgrade, I will have to earn it at each boss by hitting a KC threshold so that I can show you guys how to kill the boss before and after the upgrade. But yeah, that's all I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think of this in the comment section down below. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the series so far, and if you are, drop a like. Honestly, the support on the channel has been really amazing over the past few months. Like, this really is fun to do. It's added a lot of life to the game, and I'm glad that I can influence so many people who want to watch along as I play. If you don't want to miss out on any future content, subscribe to the channel as always. And thank you all for watching. Hope you're all doing well, and good luck on your grinds.